I am coming to you today with a palette tag. A fun, thought-provoking palette tag. This palette tag was originally created by Samantha March and Ali Glines, but most recently I saw it on the channel Makeup by Lens. It is my friend Kay over at Makeup by Lens. She did this tag a couple of months ago, and I have had it on my list of things to film, and I just hadn't. So I was actually talking to Kay earlier today, and I said, I'm thinking about doing the palette tag. She said, do it. So I was like, okay, I'm going to make time to film that today. So I'm doing it. I'm filming it. So if you like talking about eyeshadow palettes or just talking about makeup in general, then stick around. Hi, I'm Andi. Welcome or welcome back. I'm really happy that you're here. Okay, you guys, I will have all of these prompts / questions in the description box below in case you want to do them yourself. So we're going to start off with newest. What is my newest palette? Well, my newest palette is the Cosmic Beauty Smolder palette. I did buy this on launch day. I haven't bought very many palettes this year. My prerequisite for a palette, it has to punch me in the stomach. It has to punch me in the stomach. I'm going to buy this. Almost got by the Blend Bunny, the new Blend Bunny release, but I did talk myself out of that. So my newest palette is the Smolder. It is beautiful. I call this type of color story neutral with a twist, because while there are beautiful neutral shades in here, it does have this like bluey gray. It has these pinky rose shades up here, and like this is not neutral, y'all. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Their shimmers are such great shimmers, and the fact that these are on the more affordable side, I mean, they're still kind of pricey, but for this quality, they're still on the more affordable side. So I love this. I am so happy I bought it. Yes, it did punch me in the stomach. I almost bought the Cool Trolls, and then I didn't. I talked myself out of the Cool Trolls and the Nude Trolls from Cosmic. I do have the Gothic palette, which is an all purple palette, and I love it. It's freaking stunning. But there's not a whole lot of color stories from them that I want to spend the money on. When I see a disjointed, and to me it's disjointed, to you it might not be, but for me, there are some that have like pinks and greens, and I just, my brain does weird things when I see that, and I'm like, I don't think so. So, but the Gothic, and then this lady, I had to get her. I had to. My oldest palette. Now, I no longer use this palette because it is so incredibly old. It is so old. 10, 15, no. More than 15 years, because we moved into this house 15 years ago, and I had it before that. So this is the L'Oreal La Petite Nude 2 palette. And this was my ride or die, my whole ass jam. This color story was me. I feel like it was kind of their take on the Naked 3 palette. Was it Naked 3? Naked 3 palette? And matter of fact, it was between these two, but this one is just a little newer than that one. You can see I had a type back then, and you know what? I still have that same type. No regrets on that. Not even sorry. That is my type. This is my color story, and you can see pan, pan, pan. This was my only palette until I got this one. And this one has a pan in it too, but you can see like those shades are the ones that I used the most. You guys, I didn't know any better. I didn't know that it wasn't a great formula. The reason I don't use it now is the age, and it's not a great formula, but this is my oldest palette, and I will never get rid of this because it has a really important, a really deep, sentimental attachment for me, and I can't tell you what it is because if I do, I'll cry. But it has to do with my dad. So I'm going to leave it at that. But this is my oldest palette, and I will never, ever get rid of it. My most expensive palette. I didn't buy this palette. I didn't buy it. It was given to me as a gift. So I don't know if that's cheating. If I didn't buy it, is that cheating? I don't know. It's my palette tag. I'm gonna do what I want. But most expensive is the Pat McGrath Labs. This is the Mothership 6 Midnight Sun palette. And I don't know why I already didn't have it out of here, but I do keep it in here. And it is just so beautiful. Like, I look at this and I think fall all the freaking way. Fall palette, except for that purple right there. It is a fall palette, but it is just absolutely stunning. And there are several from her that I would buy if I found them more than 50% off. I'm not even paying 50% off for them. I just am not. But I'm happy to have this in my collection. And it was a very, very generous gift from Leanna. And I love it. It's just beautiful. It's very, very, very pretty. My most affordable palettes are these little Essence 6-pan palettes. You guys, I have a bunch of them. I have 6 of them. 6? I have 5 of them. I have 5 of them. And I like to mauve it, bronzed this way, nothing compares to nude, dancing green, and taupe it up. These are $3.99. Around Black Friday, they have them buy 2 get 1 free. So they're even cheaper than that. And let me tell you, I love the formula. I do. Otherwise, I wouldn't keep them. But yeah, they're so pretty. And they're such a great, especially travel palette. I know I just talked about, like I just did a type of palette tag. I did my favorite palette from every brand. So some of these might be a repeat, but oh well. So yeah, those are my most affordable, and I can't just pick one because they're all about the same price. So those are my most affordable, and I will continue to use them. The next one is my favorite everyday palette. And I am assuming that they mean neutral palette because the flip side of that is the most colorful palette. And when I watched Kay's video, she also assumed that. So I think that I'm right. So favorite everyday neutral palette. Well, I'm trying not to repeat palettes in here. So my actual favorite everyday palette is for another prompt. So I'm going to bring this one in. This is my Lorac Pro Meraki palette. And this is my second favorite neutral palette. I can't put my favorite neutral in here because it's already taken. It's already taken. But as you can see, this has had a lot of love, and I love this palette, and it is such a beautiful everyday neutral palette. Even like the shimmers, I kick myself because aren't those pretty? They're just pretty. They're not anything spectacular. They're pretty. I kick myself because Ulta had the Fairy Tale Forest for 50% off a few months ago, and I didn't buy it, and I'm like, I don't need that. I don't need that. I have this. The shades that I would use in that are the same shades that are in this one. So I probably won't ever buy that. Although I might. I might. Someday. Like I need another neutral palette. But yes, that is... I don't like this. I don't like that the shade names are on the insert because I don't usually keep the inserts. But yes, my favorite everyday... Oh, I got this from Leanna as well. I got that from Leanna, and I got this from Leanna. Leanna must love me. My favorite colorful palette. I have 2 because I can't choose. I can't choose between the 2 of them because they're both so freaking fantastic. But the first one is the Blend Bunny Blends. Rainbow palette, beautiful, even though these purple shades and these neutral shades are the only shades that I use in this palette. Now, I have used the greens and... I think I've used the pinks. I did. I used it for a breast cancer awareness video that I did. I did use the pinks once. But these blues, other than, I think this dark blue has been used, the teals have not been used at all. And these 6 shades over here have not been used either. But it's still my favorite because if I want purples, I usually reach for this. But it's still one of my favorite palettes. You know, I used to not love an all matte palette because I have to have a shimmer in every look that I do. But now I just bring in my singles. I have a project pan that is all singles right now, and I just have a collection that I love of singles. So I'll just bring in a single and complete the look, and it's beautiful. I love it. So this is one of my favorites, and then my other favorite is a newer purchase, and that is the Glam Light Rick and Morty 30. It's a 30 pan palette, and I love this palette. This is no longer available. I got this on Mercari, new in box, after it had been living in my head for over a year. It is so beautiful. It is so pretty. And I have to swatch for you. And I know I just swatched some of these in that other video that I did, so I'll do a couple of different ones. Oh, aren't those beautiful? They're so pretty. Glamlight has the best shimmers. They have such great shimmers. And I know that they're not the most consistent. I have heard people say that they're not the most consistent because they have bought other palettes from them that weren't amazing. But all of the palettes that I have from Glamlight are amazing. They are. Next up is my smallest palette. You guys, it's just a baby. It's so tiny. This is the MAC ×2. MAC Eyeshadow ×2. Yep. This was sent to me. This was in a holiday bundle that I got from my friend Z over at the channel Z Dooley. She bought me a whole holiday bundle, and this was in there. And oh my gosh, these are such beautiful shades, and they are right up my alley. They are like burgundies, and they're just so pretty. And I definitely use them more at the end of the year, in the fall and winter time. But it is just a beautiful little 2-pan palette. And to me, a palette is anything with 2 or more shadows in it. So that qualifies. Now, my largest palette. What is my largest palette? Well, it is the Be Perfect Carnival 4 Antidote. She's a big girl. 45 pans of eyeshadow. 45 pans of eyeshadow. My largest palette, I was going to say by far, but the Tahiti, Love Tahiti, is only one row shorter than this. But yes, my favorite. It is fall in a palette for me. I know that this was just in my other video that I did, but it's true. It is such a beautiful fall color story, and I will be busting this out very soon to use and use probably all of fall, probably, but I do love it. But yeah, she's definitely my best memory. This is the Morphe 350 palette. This is the Supernatural Glow. I actually just used this in a Get Ready With Me about a week ago, and it is such a beautiful palette. I know I say that about every palette, don't I? It's so beautiful, but it's true. I do think that. And the reason that this is my best memory is because my daughter just turned 24. Actually, today is her birthday that I'm filming this. It is Bailey's birthday. Bailey's 24, but when she was 16, so 8 years. This palette is 8 years old, but still not my oldest. But she got a job at a grocery store, stocking shelves, and she took her little part-time job money and she bought this for me for my birthday. And what makes it my best memory is when she bought this and when she gave this to me, she had this big smile on her face, like she was so proud of herself for picking something like this that I would love. And she's right, I do love it, but that makes it even more sentimental, and I will never get rid of this. It is just such a cherished memory for me. A palette that is worth the hype. Bella Beauté Bar with Deandra Nicole Ultraviolet palette. You guys, Bella Beauté Bar is worth the hype. The mattes are amazing. The shimmers are freaking stunning. This is the Ultraviolet. I have only used this once or twice. Why? I don't know. But that is my jam. I love purples. And oh my gosh, the shimmers are so freaking soft. I'm going to swatch some of them for you. You guys, look at those. Those are freaking fantastic. This is the only This is the only Bella Beauté bar palette that I have. But for me, it was worth the price that I paid. They're not cheap, you guys. I mean, they're not Pat McGrath expensive, but they are not cheap, but they are worth every freaking penny. Now, I did use a discount code, so I got like 15% off, but still. Oh, it's raining and the sun is shining. Weird. But worth it. Worth the freaking hype. On the flip side of that, what is not worth the hype? You guys, this kind of hurts my heart a little bit because I do love Huda so much, but the new nude palette for me is not worth the hype. I don't love this palette, you guys. I don't love it at all. And it has pretty shades in it. I have toyed with the idea of decluttering this, but then I can't make myself do it. I think I got this. I feel like I got it on sale. Like Sephora had it like $30 or something. I can't remember, but I know that I didn't pay full price for this. But it is just, I mean, it's pretty. It's my color story for sure. But the formula is just not that great. And there's these two freaking glitters, which, I mean, I could take those out and put something else in. The shimmers are beautiful. They're such pretty shimmers. I just don't love this palette. And which makes me not reach for it like I do my other Huda palettes. Well, I'll talk about it. I'll talk about it here I'll talk about it right now because the next prompt is your favorite palette from your favorite brand. Well, Huda is one of my two favorite brands, and my favorite palette from that brand is the Rose Quartz. And again, I just showed this in my favorite, but it is such a beautiful palette and I love this. Now, if you look at these two together, they're not that different. This one is cooler, but they're really not that different. But the difference in the formula is like night and day. I freaking love this palette. This was given to me by my friend Michelle. And so it does have a sentimental attachment, but it's also just such a freaking beautiful, fantastic formula palette. And then finally, the last prompt is your most used palette. And this palette, this is why I couldn't use it for the favorite, favorite everyday palette, because it is the Stone Cold Fox. And you guys know, this is my favorite everyday palette. I promise I'm not going to drool all over it like I normally do when I talk about it, but it is my most used. You can see those pans, and then hopefully you can see the dips, except for these two middle rows, but everything else has big dips in it because this palette has been used. It is also one of my oldest since I've had my channel. This is almost 5 years old, whereas the Morphe was, 7 years or 8 years old, and then the La Petite Pro was over 15 years old. The La Petite Nude is over 15 years old. So not my oldest, but definitely my favorite neutral. I couldn't use it because I told myself, you're not going to repeat answers. So most used. There's no question. No question at all. So those are all of my answers for my palette tag. Let me know some of your answers in the comments below. Let's start a conversation. You guys, thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate you being here. And until our next adventure, everyone have a great day, and we'll see you later.